Ever since the release of its first episode back in January of 2016, Legends of Tomorrow has become one of the CW's most ambitious and popular superhero shows. And with both a solid grasp on the concept of time travel as well as some of the greatest DC characters to ever grace the screen at its disposal, it's no wonder that the 6th season of the show is much anticipated. But what do we actually know about season 6 of Legends of Tomorrow? And when can we expect to get lost in its plot? Well, whether you're a fan of the extended DC universe or just want to know as much as possible about the world of time-traveling superheroes, stay right where you are as we're about to explore everything there is to know about season 6 of Legends of Tomorrow. So strap yourselves in and get ready for a time hop as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of our new videos that we post. The renewal of Legends of Tomorrow. Season 5 of Legends of Tomorrow was a roller coaster ride of stress and enjoyment, with our heroes facing off against the god-tier fates, ultimately stopping them from controlling the destinies of all humankind. Through ups and downs, we witnessed the bowing out of characters such as Ray Palmer, as portrayed by Brandon Routh, and Nora Dark, as brought to life by the brilliant Courtney Ford. The season finale then wrote the original Zari, as played by Tala Ash, out of the equation by replacing the character with Zari's brother, Behrad, who had been brought back from the dead. And finally, Astra Logue, as portrayed by the one and only Olivia Swan, was finally made part of the Legends team, even after she had spent the entirety of the season trying to kill them. Suffice it to say, fiddling with time brings about some strange consequences, but we suppose we already knew that. Despite the confusing set of events which brought the 5th season of the franchise to an end, fans were absolutely beside themselves when they discovered that DC Legends of Tomorrow had been renewed for a 6th season, which was announced on the 14th of May of last year. And since shows like Supergirl and Black Lightning have been confirmed to be ending very shortly, it appears as if Legends of Tomorrow will be one of our final opportunities to appreciate the Arrowverse as a whole. That being said, when can we expect season 6 to be made available for us to watch? The season 6 release date. What would have been the fall of 2020 season for the entire CW slate of DC superhero shows wound up being delayed until 2021. It was the onset of the global health situation that filming was brought to an absolute stop, causing shows like Supergirl to cut its season short and release the unfinished version to its fans rather than wait an extra long period of time to tackle the subject matter of the series. While the majority of the states ended up entering into a hard lockdown to curb the spread, filming became impossible, causing a number of delays to franchises spread across the DC universe. And when the film finally did pick up again, sets need to be supervised with a vast number of new safety requirements to ensure that both the cast and crew remained as healthy as possible. Suffice it to say, this slowed down production quite a bit, especially when sets needed to be closed down completely whenever a concern was raised regarding the positive status of a member who might have visited the set. Post-production has also taken a whack, with many visual effects artists working from home, which really breaks the synergy that these artists have when working alongside one another in an office environment. Because of these long-lasting effects, networks and streaming platforms have also taken to only announcing releases once both filming and post-production has come to an end. Otherwise, release dates could have been postponed at a moment's notice, which became obvious when various titles suffered delay after delay due to the new normal. Luckily for us, however, the CW seems to have things under control when it comes to Legends of Tomorrow. In fact, Katie Lotz, who is best known for her portrayal of Black Canary on the show, let us know back in October of last year that production had started up once more. She also confirmed in December of last year that she was in the process of directing an episode of the upcoming season. Then came the official statement from CW itself in February of this year, when it announced that season 6 of Legends of Tomorrow will be releasing on the 2nd of May 2021. In other words, we can expect to watch all of our favorite time-traveling heroes once more in just over a month's time. So mark your calendars, as it looks like the CW won't let any more delays disappoint fans anytime soon. The cast members of season 6 of Legends of Tomorrow. As we said earlier, season 5 of Legends Tomorrow was an absolute stunner, taking some of our favorite heroes out of the equation completely. A sure returner to the series will be Katie Lotz, who will no longer just be known as the portrayer of the beautiful and aggressive Sarah Lance, but a director of one of the coming episodes. There's no doubt that she made a name for herself in the history of the show, which is crazy considering how she used to be nothing more than a side character in Arrow. We're happy for her though, and definitely can't wait to see what she has in store for us in the coming season. We can also expect the return of everyone's favorite, Heatwave, in the form of Dominic Purcell, as well as Nick Zano, who has become famous for playing Nate Haywood. According to sources, viewers can also look forward to seeing Jess McCallan as Ava Sharp, Matt Ryan as John Constantine, Green, and Taylor Ash as Zeri. After holding down recurring roles, both Cheyenne Sobian and Olivia Swan as Beherd and Astra respectively will also be making their return as season 6 regulars of the show for the first time in history, so you can expect them to be approaching their roles with a new sense of confidence and vigor. The same can be said about Adam Seckman, with his character Gary Green being promoted to series regular as well. But fans of the show will be even happier to hear that more faces will be littering the cast in the season to come. Lizeth Chavez, for example, is being brought on to portray the character of Esperanza Cruz, whom comic book fans will recognize by the name of Spooner Cruz. She has been described as being tough and self-sufficient, often living off the grid and devising technological traps to both detect and defend against space aliens. And since Black Canary has just been kidnapped by extraterrestrials, the gang could surely use Cruz's help. Some of the reports also indicated that Aaliyah O'Brien of Bates Motel fame has signed on to the show to portray the role of Kayla, a fearsome warrior with a high body count that has very low patience for human incompetence. Think of Gamora, but the DC Comics version. And while we're not sure whether Kayla will take the form of a villain or hero in the franchise, there's no doubt that Aaliyah will be using her immaculate talents to take us on an incredible journey throughout the season 6 plot of Legends of Tomorrow. While not much information has been released regarding the eventual plot of season 6, we have some guesses as to which direction the show will be moving in. As a franchise, our heroes have already dipped their toes into time traveling as a concept, and very recently found themselves battling the fates in a battle between nature of choice and destiny. The question of just how much a single person can change the course of history was dealt with, which actually tied in very nicely with the whole concept of time travel on its own. Towards the very end of the season, we saw Black Canary being ambushed and kidnapped by a group of aliens, which seems to be setting up season 6 for an extraterrestrial invasion of sorts. When discussing the future of the show, co-runner Phil Klemmer said the following about the threat that our heroes will face. There will be a whole motley crew assortment of aliens. If these were all dominators, it would get a little repetitive. So we want to do the same thing we did for magical creatures, but for aliens. The goal is to let the aliens be bad guys to be defeated. We'll then find a way to humanize and find the emotional complexity of Marvin the Martian, and by the time we get to the finale, we'll have to spend like half an hour time realizing they weren't so bad. They were just misunderstood. So we can most definitely expect the big bad of the season to be various aliens that are introduced to us throughout the duration of the show. But like so many other characters before them, the showrunners will be leading viewers on a journey to sympathize with these enemies. It also sounds like that they'll have their reasons for kidnapping Black Canary and clashing with our heroes, which makes us think that they're either protecting humankind from a far worse fate or want the assistance of Black Canary to help defend their home world from another. Either way, it's possible that these enemies become the friends of our heroes towards the end of the season, with season 7 then dealing with the bigger bad that the extraterrestrials were afraid of themselves. That does seem to be the usual course of events when it comes to Legends of Tomorrow, but the showrunners could have just said this to get us off the trail. Season 6 of Legends of Tomorrow involves a lot more than aliens, with romance being another concept that will most definitely be explored. This show is a product of the CW after all. Last season we saw the new and improved Zari get together with John Constantine, which according to Klemmer is a story that will be rolling with the incoming season. The question for Nate this coming season, as after losing both Amaya and Zari, he'll probably need to do some healing of his own. We will thus be subjected to a harrowing journey of self-discovery for the man, who definitely deserves at least someone in his corner in the days to come. What do you all think of the upcoming season? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.